As with many early synthesizers, there was a good deal of hand building and component swapping with the ARP 2600. Discussion about whether the garish garage-assembled blue Minis sounded better than the rare grey Minis, or whether in fact the final models with the rather cheap-looking orange markings are more stable, continues to run through the vintage synthesizer community like current through a circuit board. No matter the colour nor the provenance, the nuts and bolts of Alan R. Perlman's second labour of love, after his hugely complex and expensive ARP 2500, comes packaged in an oblong case whose lid detaches to reveal a telephone exchange of sliders, switches and patch bays. The 2600 was produced as a more readily available instrument, designed primarily for the education market, hence the handy completeness of its small built-in amplification system and the informative schematics on the front panel. Perlman built the 2600 so it could be understood and used, and he did it very well. There are 3 voltage-controlled oscillators, a 4-pole low-pass resonant VCF, VCA, 2 envelope generators, ring modulator, sample and hold circuit, white or pink noise generator, an audio input with a preamp built in, and a unique, if uniquely confusing, voltage processor. This all-in-one design even boasts a spring reverb. Almost all of these modules can be manually cross-patched using their dedicated inputs and outputs, making it an excellent instrument on which to learn what each component part of a subtractive synthesis instrument actually does. But like all good teachers, the 2600 is also a lot of fun. This is definitely a hands-on machine. It's quite possible simply to stand in front of it and manoeuvre sliders until you hear something wonderful. The chance to process external signals and externally clock things like sample and hold makes sonic possibilities effectively limitless. In its heyday, the 2600 was a valued axe in the hands of such top players as Joe Zawinul, top lines from such tracks as Scarlet Woman and Black Market, to Tony Banks, Edgar Winter, whose monstrous synth sound on Frankenstein are generally credited to the 2600, to Pete Townsend, to Stevie Wonder, who has built a modified version utilising Braille. More recently, artists like The Underworld, Orbital, Vince Clarke, the best synth for making stupid funny noises, he claims, and who are we to argue, have fallen in love with this unique and classic beast. The 2600 has no provision for storing sounds, so it's very much a real-time instrument. This alone makes Arturia's ARP 2600V worth the entrance fee, but thanks to the company's TAE or True Analog Emulation technology, the many good, unique features of the instrument are brought back to life without the tuning instability and restrictions of here and now sound design. In fact, more than 400 presets have been created by some of the world's leading programmers. On the one hand, Arturia has taken great pride in replicating the details and nuances of the ARP 2600, complete in fact with an emulation of the ARP sequencer, but they've not been restricted by that. The ARP 2600V can produce up to 32 voices of polyphony, responds to MIDI of course, and has 4 revolutionary tracking generators, chorus and stereo delay that increase the sonic possibilities further still.